Alright, in the last video we finished styling our project. We created several cool animations, and the only thing that we have to work on is to make project fully responsive on different screen sizes. First of all, in order to make working process more convenient, I'm going to pause for a while animations for cards, because every time we will need to wait their appearance. Let's comment those 3 animation properties out, then inspect the page and switch responsive mode. As we already said, project is built on large screen size, I mean on 1920 pixels width, and because of that, if you use relatively smaller screen, then project might be looking not quite perfect for you. So that's why we're going to make it responsive on all screen sizes. Alright, so first breakpoint on which we want to make some changes is about 1300 pixels. On that breakpoint we need to decrease slightly font size of heading, and also we need some space between cards because they're getting too close to each other. Let's create CSS media query and as a max width indicate 1300 pixels. Then select heading element, decrease font size, make it 65 pixels. Besides that, if we make a window a little bit smaller, then text will be wrapped, and I think it's not looking good. In order to avoid it, let's define width of heading as 80%. Alright, that's it about heading. Let's select cards wrapper. In order to increase space between cards, let's just increase width of cards wrapper. As you remember, its width is set as 80%, and now let's make it 100%. Alright, besides that, I think would be better if we move a little bit up cards wrapper. For now, its top position is defined as 35%, so let's decrease it slightly, right top with value 32%. Okay, finally, let's decrease height of card. Actually, we can achieve that by decreasing height of image top. For now, its height is set as 220 pixels. So let's select it, right image top, and set height as 200 pixels. Alright, that's it. We don't need any changes on that breakpoint. Next one is going to be 1000 pixels, because after it, as you see, cards are getting really close to each other. So we need to make here some changes. Let's create new media query. Then indicate max width as 1000 pixels. First of all, I'm going to increase again width of heading. Let's select it and set its width as 90%. So on that breakpoint we need to wrap cards, and for that I'm going to use flex property called flex wrap. Let's select cards wrapper and assign to it flex wrap, which should have value wrap. So actually, as you can see, wrap is working, but before cards are wrapped, they are too close to each other. We need some space between them. For that, let's select card and create space using margin. On top, we need 0. Then on right side, write 30 pixels. We need some space at the bottom as well, so right here 50 pixels, and on the left side 30 pixels. So we have here space between cards, but here is another problem. As you know, height of container is set as 100 VH, and because of that, after card wrapping, height is not enough to cover background. So we need to set height of container as 100%. Let's select container and write height 100%. So now background is covered, but cards have changed their positions and they covered heading. Let's fix that simply using padding. On top we need 300 pixels, then 0 on the right side, 200 pixels at the bottom, and again 0 on the left side. Alright, so on that breakpoint everything seems to be okay. Let's make window smaller. Next width on which we need slight changes is about 700 pixels. I think will be better if we decrease font size of heading. So let's create new media and indicate max width as 700 pixels. Then select heading and decrease font size, make it 50 pixels. So heading is looking much better, but now we need to change height of cursor. Let's select heading and add after pseudo element. I'm going to make height of cursor 40 pixels. Alright, so on that breakpoint, I think we don't need other changes. Let's make window smaller. So on smaller screen size, we need to decrease heading's font size again. Let's create new media for another breakpoint. Indicate max width as, let's say, 450 pixels. Then select heading. Make its font size 40 pixels. Now again we need to change height of cursor because it's bigger than size of text. Let's copy the code from here and just change 40 pixels into 33 pixels. Alright, last thing that I want to do is to decrease space between card and heading, and also we have big space at the bottom. Let's select cards wrapper and change values of padding. On top right 250 pixels, then 0 on the right side, 150 pixels at the bottom, and again 0. Alright, so our project is finally finished. It's responsive on different screen sizes. Actually, if you think that it needs some more changes, then feel free and add it on your own. But if you have any trouble, then you can reach out and post your questions. We will be glad to help. So that's it about this project. Let's get back here. Animations for cards. Get rid of those comments. I hope you liked this project, learned a lot of things, and now let's move on to the next one.